Good morning. Guess what? You can see my face. Trying to do something new and just trying to get it more interactive, more personal, I think. Um, I have an old studio mic. For those that don't know, I used to make music and records and stuff like that. So I have a mic that we used when I kind of built a home studio something. So I have that set up here now, and hopefully it is better. I think. It's not perfect yet. It's a bit of a makeshift because I've lost the stand, lost the mic stand. So it's somewhere. Not exactly sure where. But I'm going to try this and see if it works better. Thank you for joining in. This is the Tuesday Outlook and Setups. We'll be looking at EU and GU primarily. Maybe have a quick peek at Aussie dollar. And yes, let's see how it goes. So I'm using OBS, if you don't know. I'm trying still to figure it out, so let's see if it works. Okay, you're supposed to see the chart now. Yes, I think so. Do you see the chart? I hope so. And please leave a comment if the sound is better. That might be much appreciated, because I know the previous video the sound was horrible. Hopefully the sound is better now. EU, okay, let's just jump into it. This is EU. And we're looking at a low and our high, and we have this retracement. We pulled back into the 50% mark, below 50%. Well, technically, if you look at the last sell candle, then we did tap the order block. You can see that sell candle, we did tap it, and then we saw the reaction towards the upside. So I'm expecting some sort of bullishness today. I think we will be more bullish. I think we did create the low of the week on Monday, and possibly moving up higher today. So now it's just about finding a good deal, finding a good opportunity. If you look at the 1 hour, where's our 1 hour liquidity points? So we have, I'm just going to draw lines, not blocks. We have this one over here, this order block, this big down candle, then this up movement. But you can see with this week, we already we already retested that order block. So if you look at it like this, you can see if that was the order block, then aggressively you could have placed an entry there. I'm not sure about stop loss, but expecting price to come back, retest it, and then continue towards the upsides. And that's then obviously what did happen. So we're now more concerned about current price action and where we're going from here. So just on the 1 hour, that's, as you know, for those in the community, we know that 1 hour is our most important liquidity area. So we're looking at liquidity on the 1 hour. Looking for decent structure breaks, order blocks, and you know the lists. The list is unfortunately that I usually have on the right here. Wait a minute, let me just put this up. So usually we have a list here on the right hand side for liquidity, but because it's Tuesday, I can't show everything because that is community content. But nonetheless, we're looking for order blocks, liquidity highs and lows, and so on. So currently on EU, I'm just looking towards the upside. Where can we be reaching for? We have potentially this order block over there, and then it's very clear to see that we have this one as well. We did reach up into it, filled the imbalance, but I don't think we filled the order block volume in there as well. So bullish price action for me today. Yes, we'll only just need to see from where do we find our point A, where do we find our entry. Just look at the 15-minute. The 15-minute we might have something more clear. Okay, here it does look a bit clearer because we can see a really nice range in here that can be mitigated, retested, and then continue up higher, creating some sort of liquidity in here as well. I'm not liking this as an order block. That's not for me very nice. So I'll probably go a time frame lower until I find like that's better for me, a full body candle. I like that. But also I like this whole area. So I would typically take 50% of this whole sell area, and 50% of that possibly be an entry for me. So I think look at something like this for an entry, and then take profit at that order block level, round number as well. Can you believe it? 8300. So this is the type of setup I think that I would be looking at for EU. We have now liquidity below, we have this trend line liquidity, we can just mark that out as liquidity. So on the 5 minute makes sense, it looks good. 50 minute, I don't like that candle, so I'm refining it to a lower time frame. Potentially price can maybe dip lower, but yes, we'll need to see if we do get a dip lower, but I'm not sure exactly if we will. So we'll just have to react and not predict too much. But that is the scenario that I'm kind of looking for. Don't need to point it all out, but we have a structure break here as well. Let's get the right line selected. Structure break here selected as well. Very nice impulsively. We have some imbalance left there. So that is a good area for me to sell in, buy in, sorry. Just want to have a quick look at the Asian session. Let's just mark it out. 6 and 2 o'clock. First time tuning in, that's the range that I'm looking at. So we haven't yet cleared the highs or the lows. So we still have the highs and lows intact. And it isn't really consolidated, it's more trending. This whole sequence was trending. So I am considering the pullback setup that you all know. So in essence, we're looking for that to happen, the pullback into the range. The other thing that could happen, we could potentially see price first. Now that's the other thing, with the better mic, you might pick up the dog Nola barking outside. So sorry about that, but that's just part of my setup, so enjoy it. And her name is Nola, if you ever want to say hello to Nola. We could see also a sweep of the Asian lows into an order block over here, or it's not really an order block, but more like a zone, an unmitigated zone, and then the continuation towards the upside. So I do think that this area could be reached as well, because we have this Asian low liquidity as well under there. So a lot of variables, a lot of things that we need to consider. But that is currently my intraday play for potentially looking at. Let's jump over to AusGU. Let's see what is the situation here. Let's just quickly go to the higher time frame. Let's just delete all this. Let's look at a short. Well, I took a short here yesterday. 4 hours, just look at the 4 hour again. So initially this was our 4 hour range, the low and the high, and we pulled back into 50%. We mitigated this order block and the low within the 50% discounted range, and then so that's what is check mark, and then we start pushing back up again. Then we created a new impulsive new range from this low all the way up to this high. So we have this range, and then we saw the pullback into 50% as well. But the thing is, we didn't really fill anything significantly. Like on the 1 hour, even the 1 hour, we didn't. We tapped into imbalance. Probably that's the only real thing that we reacted off of, and it's in the discounted area as well. So that could have been the reason for the reaction there, but it wasn't something I looked at particularly. And then we can now see price trending towards the upside again. So looking firstly 1 hour, where's our liquidity? Well, we have highs there, and we have these intraday lows over there. Potentially, like what I'm seeing here, remember the pattern that I've showed you and that we teach, we have the structure push towards the downside, and then followed by the structure break, and then the return to an order block. But this is just, so I took a short in here towards the downside. That was very, very frustrating. I'm going to show you now, because it felt so good, and then all of a sudden, boom, back up towards the upside. Wasn't a good setup. Not a good feeling. It was a nice setup, but not a good feeling. I wonder if you can see the setup. It's very clear actually. But okay, so on the 50 minute, we need to just mark out our Asian session. So we have 2 o'clock over there. Asian session is a bit more consolidated, even though it's trending towards the upside. So actually it is trending. We're not seeing consolidated movement, we're seeing price just moving towards the upside. So if you in the community, you know exactly what that means for us and how we will use it there. But currently struggling to find anything of value on the 15-minute time frame. Like I'm looking at clean impulses, order blocks, it's just not there yet. So potentially I would want to see first at London Open a sweep of the highs and lows of Asian session, just to give us that more of a clear indication of where we're going. Currently, if we're just looking at the 5-minute time frame, I'm not sure if you spotted this as well, but we have this intraday structure break, we have this clean order block over here. So this could potentially be a sell, you know, something like this towards the Asian lows. It's a quick scalp, but that could be something. Because we failed to make a higher high, we saw the strong push towards the downside. Seeing this pullback, this could definitely be a sell, I think. And that's something I might even take at a low risk. So if I do, it's a live trade, and then you see me take a live trade. Yay! I've got so many people asking me, please trade live. But you know, as I'm still working full time, I have a job, and it's not always possible to do live sessions. I have this morning, quickly, a few minutes, then I have to get on with my day. It is just how life is at the moment. So let's see what happens in this area. Not taking any trade just yet. Sorry. Okay, so that is basically, I'm not yet sure about my high time frame view, where I'm looking for price to be going to. It's a bit difficult. We have liquidity above this high, we have it up there as well. So I do think we could reach. Ideally, I would actually want to see price go lower. We just look at the 4-hour quickly into this area, and we now have this liquidity low as well there. So I would like to see price go lower into this area. We have some liquidity in this area as well. So I do think possibly we could see price go lower. Will we see it? Not sure. It's all but ifs and maybes. Okay, so we're seeing the reaction. So probably that could have been an entry, but obviously it was too late for that. Didn't see that in time or catch it. Then, yeah, if you're really aggressive, you can just enter now and then just place your stop loss probably about the high, I would say. Not sure. We have half an hour left till Frankfurt Open, and then another hour left until London Open. So we still have a lot of time to take trades and to see the setup forming. Yes, let's have a. So yeah, basically this is what I'm looking at. Looking for liquidity above the Asian high and lows. This is a decent area for buys as well, because it's below the Asian lows. It's a clean, solid order block, but it's not a strong impulsive move towards the upside. So that's a knock on it. So not as clean, but definitely this could be something as well. So to be honest, I'm a bit direction shy on GU today. I'm not exactly sure which way we're going, to be honest. Seems bearish, seems bullish, so it's probably just moving sideways. Let's have a quick look at Aussie dollar. Let's just do it first from the 4-hour. Just want to quickly see what are we working with. So basically this is our 4-hour range. Yes, I'm looking for sells. I'm looking for price to reach the 50%. Looking for price to reach the 50% down here. So plain and simple. Now we have a lot of areas where price can be reaching for. So we have that order block, then we have this small one over here, followed, including some imbalance and a very nice structure break there as well. So price, I think, is going towards the downside on AU, and probably the dollar index is moving up higher towards, I don't know where. So Aussie dollar, I think, potentially sells. If you just look at the 1 hour moving down, so on the 1 hour, where's our 1 hour area? So we have a 1 hour order block. I'm just going to put a line there. The 1 hour order block in there, so potentially pull back moving down. So we want to enter on a lower high, not enter down low. If we look at the 15-minute, this area looks good, 50%. So just something like this, I would say. It's a bit of a wider stop loss, but we can potentially narrow it down towards that candle, make it a 4 pip stop loss. We're seeing the introduction of bearishness with all the structure breaks towards the downside. The one and that one. So I would think that I would be looking for a pullback and then a sell. So for London Open, that would be my 9 there, London Open. So we can just draw a line till 11, because that's the best time to trade London session, and we can just say that London session from 8 to 11, from Frankfurt to, but I'm going to keep that line there for London Open. So that's what I would potentially be looking for AU. Anyway, sells up in this area. I'm not sure exactly how high it will get up. Will we reach that area? But obviously, we don't just look for price to reach that area. We can look for price, how it reacts around this area, and then we can decide on what we want to do with it. Okay, so that is then it for me today, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, hope you all have a wonderful day. Let's just get back to the full screen, I think. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Stay safe, happy trading, use risk management. And just, if you watched till the end, I had a bit of a oopsies, some bad trades yesterday on the challenge account, so it's not looking as great, but I'm honest about it. As you all know, my biggest challenge is overtrading, so I did fail a bit in that department yesterday. But we are still in it to win it, and we'll take it as we go along. So thank you for watching, and then see you guys in the next one. Have a nice day. Bye.